going. We'll get started here in about a minute. Just remember to wait for the microphones. We'll have one on each side. Helps our stenographers. Thank you. We're joined here by Mookie and JD Martinez. First question, Johnny on the left.
Yes, how excited are both you guys for being here? And what will be some of the keys against Verlander Saturday night? Both of you.
I'm very excited about it. Obviously we got that monkey off our back as far as getting past the first round, so we can be excited about that. But I think just Verlander is a good pitcher, and we have to stick to our game plan, and that's how we'll beat him.
Yeah, we're obviously excited to be here. It's one step away from being in the World Series. As far as Verlander goes, this is a tough pitcher, and he's one of those guys you got to grind out at bats and kind of wait him out, wait for those mistakes, and capitalize on them.
Okay. Middle right.
Yeah, Mookie, maybe you talk about the monkey off your back and just what this feels like the last couple of days. How different is it than getting ready for that first round, which you've been through a few times? Having won a series now, how different does this feel coming into this now?
It's a good different. I'm not packing my stuff up and going home. I think it's just another few days to prepare, and it's the same thing we did, going into the ALDS, and now we get to do it again, and so it's a little different to do it twice, but it's like I said, it's a good different.
And JD, for you came here for this. This was one of the draws of going to Boston. Getting that first round celebration, at what point did you put that in perspective that this is happening sort of the way maybe you envisioned in February when you signed?
Yeah, obviously coming here, they had a great team last year. That was one of the drawing points to come here and just help out as much as I can. The fact that where we're at, I feel like if you ask everyone in here, it really doesn't surprise us. It's one of those things that we all expect us to keep going and to be here. So, but this is another series, another big series versus another good team, and it's going to be a tough battle, so we're going to be ready for it.
Far left.
Question for both of you. How much confidence did you gain by watching Chris Sale do what he did the other day in New York? And obviously, how excited are you to have him on the mound in Game 1?
You got it? Me? I don't know about confidence gained. I feel like I've never lost confidence in Chris pitching. He's been, in my opinion, the best left-handed pitcher in baseball all season. So, my confidence has always been there, and it's obviously exciting having him go tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. I think, you know, what he's made of, you know, what kind of attitude he has towards the game, and, you know, he's a competitor. So, yeah, there was definitely no confidence lost there.
Dan in the front.
So both guys. Alex, after the game, after you clinched in New York, said people seem to have given up on you, thought it was 2-0 when you left Boston 1-1. Was there any sense in the room of that local folks here had written you guys off after the 1-1 split?
For me, I mean, you know, I hate to say it, but you know, it's 25 guys and with the coaching staff that go in and play. So I think we kind of block everything else out. You know, we can't worry about what the feeling is around us, as long as internally we know what we can do and how we can win. I think that's the most important thing, and you know, we believe in ourselves, and you know, I think that's why we went out and did what we did.
Did you get any sense of that, JD?
You know, kind of exactly what Mookie said. You know, I feel like when you're on a team, and especially our team, you're in a bubble, and everything else is kind of the distractions, and everything else is kind of noise. For us, like he said, you know, we never stopped believing in ourselves. You know, 1-1, it's not a big deal. The series is even. I think everyone kind of knew that it was going to be you know, kind of a back and forth thing. We didn't think, you know, I mean, honestly, I honestly thought we were going to go all 5 games, just because that's how it's been all year against them. You know, I mean, if you look at the history, that's how it was the entire season. They have a great team, and you know, for us to go and put our heads down because it's a 1-1 going to New York wasn't a big deal, I think.
Ken on the left.
For either of you guys, is this heightened or intensified because it is the 2 best teams in the major leagues going at it here from this year? And also, have you chosen a song yet to celebrate when you win this round?
No songs, but I mean, I guess knowing that they're a great team, we have a great team too. You know that it's going to be a fun battle. So I think we just you have to embrace it. You know, there's no sense in making it more than what it is. You know, I think we have to go out and play. You know, no matter who the opponent is, and I mean that's just it's just how you have to do it. I mean, you just have to embrace that you have 2 good teams.
No song, JD?
No song. I mean, what do you? I don't know. No,
you should know the song.
What is it? What's their song? Deep in the Heart of Texas? I don't know. No, probably not.
On the right.
JD, in some ways, it's full circle for you playing the Astros. What do you? And I know you've discussed this a lot, but what do you remember from your time with them, and especially toward the end, where you had started to figure it out, and they ended up deciding to move on, and that kind of set you on this path to lead to where you are today?
What's the question exactly?
What do you remember from your time with the Astros? What stands out to you?
What stands out to me? I think the growing pains. Really, I think I learned how to fail, if that's something. You know, I think I went through all my failure there, and I kind of learned and I grew, and I knew kind of what worked, what didn't work, and then I just, you know, after that, it was, you know, I think God gave me another opportunity and put me in a good situation, you know, with Detroit, and that's kind of where I continue to grow until, you know, where I am today, really.
Brian on the left.
JD, from your time with Verlander, what stands out about his focus and preparation about getting prepared for big games and playoff games, you know, like we're in right now?
He's definitely well prepared. He's always has been. He's been that guy that's, you know, I remember he used to always call me in the video room and, JD, what do you got on this guy's swing? What do you got on this and that? Like, you know, we were in Detroit. And, you know, he's a great pitcher, and he steps up in big games. So I think, you know, but we have a great offense and we have a great lineup, and, you know, we do our homework too, and I think it's going to be a good battle.
Brian on the right.
Mookie, you played with Tony Kemp growing up. What do you remember of him from that time, and how crazy is it that you're both on this stage now?
There's so many memories. I mean, you know, I don't even know what age we started playing together. So I think it's just one of those things where I'm just proud to say there's another guy, you know, that I grew up with that's playing in, you know, playoffs with me now. And, you know, he goes back home and we see each other back home and, you know, mess around and do whatever. But, it's just a good feeling to know that, where I come from, there's major league talent for sure.
Bob on the right.
JD, when you were in the AL Central together with Chris Sale, do you remember your reaction when he got traded to the Red Sox? I mean, was it a relief that, hey, we don't have to face this guy a million times?
Exactly what it was. I just remember those. We used to always have always have a day game in Chicago, 4 o'clock game, not even day game, one of those twilight mid shadow games, 4 o'clock games in Chicago, and we always landed Chris Sale for that game. And I was like, dude, this is like a horror film. This is terrible. And so I remember when that happened, I was definitely relieved that we didn't have to face him anymore.
Scott on the right.
Mookie, another question for you on Kemp. What did you think of his tweet back to yours, and have you guys communicated since you beat the Yankees, knowing that you're going to play against him?
Yeah, we talked. We texted the other day and just wish each other good luck. It's just one of those things where he's like a brother. Like I said, we grew up and played against each other and with each other in the summer. So it's just one of those things where you just hope for the best for somebody that you kind of growing up playing with.
Hazel.
Mookie, without giving away any family secrets, how do you see the running game changing with Maldonado behind the plate?
I mean, he's got one of the best arms, if not the best arm. So, he's a great catcher back there. But I think it's just one of those things where we have to continue to do whatever we do to win the game. And so, I mean, that's all you can do. You have to respect him, but we're good too, and we'll find a way to get it done.
On the right.
Mookie and JD, you've tremendous seasons, 1 and 2 in the batting title for Major League Baseball. Can you comment on how perhaps you fed off each other, maybe competed with each other, and can you carry that through the postseason, this healthy competition, helping a team win?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was one of those things where, our personalities are so similar that we're just always talking hitting and always wanting to get better and work, and so it's one of those things that it's almost like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like we're always in the cage together hitting, and we're always kind of pushing each other in that sense. Like, oh, what do you got on this? What do you have on that? Type deal, and kind of game planning and getting ready for a pitcher. And it's just, I don't know. It's cool because I've been on many different teams, and you don't really find personalities as similar when it comes to passion for hitting as when I found him, and kind of as far as the playoff goes, I think it doesn't really change. I mean, we still prepare the same way, we still go about it the exact same way as we went if we're facing, I don't know, a day game in the middle of April or something. It doesn't matter to us. I think we've always done a really good job of preparing the exact same way and not getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, nothing changes, It's been a long season. We were successful this year, and there'd be no reason for us to change and do something different now. I know I have to do whatever I do. That's how I scored 120 runs or whatever. It's just doing whatever I do to get on base for him, and I think that's how we just continue to win games.
What have you learned from JD?
I mean, I could sit here all day and talk about what I've learned, but the most important thing is just to trust your work. I mean, I go in it and put in so much work. Like I said, we put in so much work, and you have to go and trust it. I mean, I think that's the most important thing that I've learned for sure.
On the left.
Yep. Yeah, for both of you guys, your bullpen's taken a fair amount of heat this season. What did they show you kind of in that first round, and how much confidence you have in them kind of going into this round?
I think the confidence has been the same. They've been solid. I feel like for most of the season, they had a rough patch for a little bit. I think that first half, the division series, they obviously got a lot of heat for the game or whatever, the first game of this. But if you look back, I mean, the last 2 games they were solid, and they got it done for us. And I think the confidence is kind of the same. I think this is the playoffs. It's going to be a grind. You're facing the lineup they were facing. It's not an easy lineup. It only gets harder from here. So it's one of those things where I think everybody likes to point fingers and say oh, this is this and that. But what people have to realize is that these are the best players in the world right now, and it's all funneling down to the best teams, the best lineups, the best pitchers, the best bullpen, and it's a battle. It's not easy.
Front left.
This one's for both of you. Alex has gotten a lot of praise for the way he managed the series and all season long. Just from your personal points of view, what are his biggest strengths?
For me, it's just his trust in the guys. He trusts every single one of us, and I think we trust him. And so I think he puts us all in the right positions to succeed, or in the best positions to succeed. And that's how he's getting the most out of everybody. And I think when a manager can do that, and we all respect him and whatnot, if a manager can do that, he's definitely going to have a successful team, and that's what we are.
Yeah, I agree with him. He makes decisions and that show that he's got faith in us and faith in the whole team, not just 3, 4, 5 guys. And I think in order to have a team as complete, I feel like, and as good and well-rounded as we do, you need to have that. You need to have that confidence in every player, and everybody's here to do a job. And I think Alex has shown that all year, and he's made that a point to the whole team.
Front row.
JD, you talked about your failure in Houston. How much did it / does it still drive you to this day? In part two, I know the ALCS is special no matter what, but is it any more special because it's the Astros?
How much does it drive me? And I think my failures in Houston is what made me who I am. I think it's given me that drive, that drive to keep working, because you never know what can happen type deal. As far as it being Houston, no, really. It's, I learned a lot from Houston, and you know what? It made me who I am, and there's no really animosity there. In my sense, they did me a favor by allowing me to leave and going to play on another team. And if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't be here right now. Who knows where I would have been.
I remember one of your biggest issues was keeping weight on during the season. Is that still an issue?
It's definitely something that I work on. I battle a little bit with. Me and Yoshi in there. I kind of let him know day one, and he makes me these big old shakes right before I go home, weight gainer shakes, so I don't lose weight. So it's kind of our little joke that we have on the side. But yeah, it's one of those things that I battle, and it's something I'll continue to battle for my career.
Pete on the left.
Mookie, if you had 3 hits during 4 games in the middle of the season, nobody would even notice or pay attention. When it happens in the playoffs, it kind of gets magnified. How do you sort of ride the ups and downs of, the games being so important and everybody's expecting you to be one of the producers?
I think it's just one of those things where I have to kind of embrace it. If I have to go out and be one of the producers, then, you have to go do it, no matter if you try and push it to the side or not. So it's just one of those things where I know I have to go in and do something and help the team win in some way. And if it's getting 3 hits, then cool. If it's getting, making a nice play in the outfield, that's fine too. So I'm just going to do whatever I can to help the team win. And, I think we have a bunch of guys here that can do something to help the team win. So it's just one of those things where I don't feel so pressured to do everything, but I know I have to do something.
Is it because it's the postseason? Is it different than it feels in that sense during the regular season?
I think just the sense is that we have a limited amount of games, and I think so. If you don't get it done now, then it's like never. We're during the season. You have 162 to get it done. So. I guess there is some sense of pressure there, but I have to understand that I can only do what I can do.
Thanks, everyone. That'll conclude this session.